Welcome to the Beat Goes On podcast. We have a special guest today, Catherine, and I wanted you to just introduce yourself and what you do just right off the bat, and then we can, drill you.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Catherine Sanders. I'm the owner of Creek to Coast Marketing and Events. We kind of specialize in nonprofit fundraising events. I got a husband and a house full of boys.
How many boys?
I have two.
Two
Boys, 14 and 8. And
they're a little far apart.
They are a little far apart. And then we have a 22-year-old that we've kind of adopted that lives with us. He works for my husband. No. We have a house full of boys and dogs and businesses. And we just.
So is that all you do? What does your husband do?
My husband's a diesel mechanic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow, that's hardcore.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's hard to find a good mechanic these days.
Yeah.
At least it is for me. So tell us a little bit about your business. I love that it's nonprofits. What are some recently this year? I know we're fresh into the new year. It's only March. Well, I guess it's almost April now.
Yeah.
What have you worked on this year so far?
So we are gearing up for a whole bunch of golf tournaments. So we've got 3 golf tournaments coming up. I do a lot of work with Savannah Traffic Club, which is a logistics-based organization. And then we've got Operation Kid Forward coming up in the end of May. So we kind of been just hammering it, trying to get those golf tournaments sponsored and ready to go.
Lead the whole you would lead the whole event, market it, everything.
We do all the planning, all the logistics, all the marketing. We help them get sponsorships and people plan in the golf tournaments or attendees for other events. We do other types of events too, not just golf tournaments.
And what are the golf tournaments? What are these specifically? What is the charity? What is the connection for the tournament?
So it depends on which organization we're working with. So like in May, both the Traffic Club and Operation Kid Forward tournaments are in May. And so Savannah Traffic Club, it's a scholarship fund. So their golf tournament, all the money that they raise goes into their scholarship fund. They fund 5 scholarships for juniors and seniors in college in logistics degree programs throughout Georgia. And then Operation Kid Forward, they deal with at-risk youth and underprivileged youth in the Savannah area.
Which is so important.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So important. I love that. A friend of mine is doing she just started it, I love when people help the youth because they legit are the future. And sometimes it's so easy to forget them because they can be, I know because I have a 22-year-old that was a troubled teen. It's sometimes hard. They are almost like the forgotten child. Like it's like they assume that they should start to get their life together. But if you had nothing, it's really hard to know where to start. So I love organizations like that. A friend of mine is doing just something simple like prom. We all gave dresses. She's doing turning her business into a prom shop, or a dress shop. But they're not going to pay. But they're going to get the treatment just like they would at a store. And we all donated, dresses that we had in the closet because it's, people who show some love that makes a difference in these, in these teens' lives. And it's so, so important. I was also a troubled teen. I had when traumatic, any trauma that you go through as a kid, it's like they can rebel and their life could take a whole different turn. So just a little bit of love and people that care in your community can really make a difference. So I love, 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 love that. So what goes on with the golf tournament? Like how many people sign up? I play Frisbee golf. I do not golf. So what does that look like if anybody's listening and they want to look into your business and what you do? How can they get involved? And I love that I love when it's a good, fun, outdoor event too.
I love outdoor events, especially in the spring in Savannah because the weather is perfect all the time. So golf tournaments really depends on the course that we're playing at. Most of our courses that we partner with, we can put 144 golfers on course, which is 8 guys or girls on every hole. And then we do like a shotgun start. So we put a team on every hole or 2 teams on every hole, depending on the number of participants that we have. And they golf throughout the day. They have fun.
And they pay to be a part of the tournament. And then that money goes
directly to the organizations.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And fun. What a fun way, because they're going to pay to golf anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the way that we structure it is all of the cost that we incur for the golfers are paid by their registration. So all the sponsorship money is really just going directly to the organization. There's some, miscellaneous cost associated.
Yeah, you always have to cover your costs. Yeah, for sure.
But all of our sponsorships and a good portion of our team registrations all go back to the organization. So.
Yeah, I love that. It's a fun way to raise money, and it's good networking. So I always say, like, not only are you helping your community when you do something, anything like that, but you're also networking with other people who care in the community, which is also beneficial to your business. Anytime I did, I've done the Alzheimer's Association, I've done several. I usually just give Beat Tan stuff away to it, but anytime I've been involved, whether I'm on the whatever side of it I'm involved in, I meet the coolest people, and it's the right people to meet. The people who are giving back and care in the community, but it's great networking. So those of you who are new in Savannah, own businesses, or even if you just want to make friends, I think it's the best networking.
It really is.
You meet the best people.
And we have really cool luncheons and stuff afterwards, and we just have a good time.
Yeah. And also, if you hear my dog, she is here for the podcast, and she does not always behave. So if you hear a little noise in the background, it's her. She's just here for the party. So tell us a little bit about you. Like, what would you want people, how did you get involved? Well, first I'll ask, how did you get involved with, what made you want to do this? Like, how long have you been doing it?
So I have always kind of had that heart for charity, that heart for giving back and making a difference. That started really, really young in my life. And I attribute that 100% to my parents, because that is just the way that we were raised.
Yeah.
And so when I was 16 years old, I won the Georgia National Guard Youth of the Year for the state of Georgia, because part of my senior project that I was doing at the time, we ripped out like the whole courtyard at the National Guard Armory here in Savannah and did a memorial garden for the fallen soldiers from that unit.
Oh, wow.
And so we did that. We did a whole bunch of other stuff throughout the state. And so that really was where it kind of started for me. And then early in my adulthood, I was involved in different nonprofit organizations, whether it was as a volunteer or a board member, just staying involved in the community. And then I had kids, and and you get involved in the school. But you still kept doing it, too. Yeah, you get involved in the school.
That did not stop you.
Yeah,
so I love that you just, figured it out. Which that's what you just have to do when you have kids. And then some people stop what they're doing and focus on, we all parent in different ways. I think I would lose my mind if I wasn't somehow involved in something, even, Kevin's 22 now, but it is harder when they're younger.
It is harder when they're younger. And I've been a career person. I really just stepped out this year. I started my business last year, and I was a full-time insurance agent.
Oh, wow.
And so
what kind of insurance? I did that way back.
I worked for a local State Farm agent. And
well, that's a good company.
Yeah,
I did not. I'm not going to say who I work for. I work for a good company. I did not. I sold Medicare supplements. Sorry.
Yeah. So I left them in December after 4 years of being with them, and kind of ventured out on my own. Had my husband's full support behind me, so it was.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He pushed me a little bit. I will give my husband that. He was like,
I love that.
You have to do this now, because if you don't do it now, you're never going to do it.
I love that. A supportive husband pushing. That's amazing. And you really need that. And not everyone has that.
Yeah. You always need that person.
Yeah, you do. That's amazing. And the fact that, all the good that you're doing is great. And where do you live? We kind of talked about this when she walked in, but where do you live now?
I live in Ellabelle, Black Creek area.
I love Black Creek. There's a golf course there.
There's a golf course there.
I went to high school in Pembroke, which is Bryan County, which is the same county. So it was a little drive for her to come into town to do this interview. So it's a little drive, but hey, because of that new Hyundai dealership being built. So if you guys don't know, there's this huge manufacturing for Hyundai coming to Bryan. I mean, it's in the works right now, and it's happening really quickly. I passed through there coming back from Atlanta, like in the very beginning stages when they broke ground, and it looked like the apocalypse. Remember when they were like burning everything down to clear the space for it?
It's like a hole the size of a small town.
It was weird. And how long have you lived there?
I've lived there for almost 5 years now.
Gotcha. So it was very cryptic for you too. Like that was weird.
Yeah, it was. And it happened so fast. It
happened
really
really
announced,
fast.
And then it felt like weeks later, all the trees were gone.
And it is going to bring jobs, and it is going to grow that area so very much. So I'm excited for it, but the process is still a little cryptic and weird because this is like a teeny tiny town about 30 minutes outside of Savannah that I, went to high school with. I lived there a couple of times during my life. My mom did like to move a lot locally, so we lived in the city and we lived out there. So I'm lucky now because I know people all over. But it's a good school system. It's a good place for sure to raise your kids. And there's still, if you go far enough back in there, there's like the Black Creek area. It's beautiful. There's still some big yards and still some farms out in the Pembroke in the Pembroke side of it. And even in the LFL, there's still some farming and stuff going out there. Still, I lived right by a cotton field when I lived in Pembroke.
We live in the middle of one. So we live in a neighborhood. But yeah, even the neighborhoods, there's 132 houses in our neighborhood, and we're on half-acre lots. Bigger.
Yeah, it's not like Savannah where they're like teeny tiny lots and everyone's crammed.
They put 4 houses in my yard in Savannah. So
exactly. So that big yard, for dogs and kids, it sure does help. So it's worth it sometimes. It's not. As we're sitting in my teeny tiny apartment, I sometimes miss it, but I mean it's just me now, so I get it. But sometimes when I drive out there to see family and friends, I'm like, man, it is nice to have people to go visit out there because it is such a pretty drive, and that area is so pretty. When I used to build a fort, Black Creek kind of runs through, and we used to play. Me and my sister I saw alligators in that creek. So and I would swim in it. Like, what is wrong with me?
The kids still swim in that creek.
I was fearless. Yeah. Like
my youngest,
need to get a little bit
not
about that.
So my 8-year-old's not about it. My 14-year-old, he'll do it all. He's fearless.
Yeah, I was fearless. My son's not fearless. He's always been very cautious, protective, sensitive, sweet. He's a sweetheart. Yeah, that's awesome. So so you have one coming up in May, and where is that, and how could someone get involved?
Well, we have 2 coming up in May. So May 10th.
My dog is being such a jerk.
Friday, May 10th, we're going to be at Crosswinds with Savannah Traffic Club.
Oh, cool. And, hey, is that restaurant still right there by Crosswinds?
Sam's Needs?
Yeah.
Yes, and it's delicious.
Yes, my papa loves it. Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, if you haven't, go to Sam's. It's like this weird little restaurant that's, I don't know. It's delicious.
It's just like a little golf kind of themed tavern.
Yeah. Golf themed tavern. And Crosswinds is a really nice, my sister got married there. It's a really nice golf course.
We love Crosswinds.
And so how can they sign up? Is there a website that they can go to?
So for Savannah Traffic Club, it's birdease, BIRDEASE.com/STC Golf.
Gotcha.
And then May 31st, we're going to be in Richmond Hill at Richmond Hill Golf Club with Operation Kid Forward. And same thing, birdease.com/OKF.
Love it. And I love
it might be okay.
And we'll put all of this in the show notes as well, but please go and support this. I mean, her life, it's so impressive to me when a woman, anyone for that matter, but this show is to highlight women. When someone gives their life to giving back, it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of networking. I mean, if you were sitting beside her, you could feel like the good energy and the love that's radiating off of her. So I would, get involved with any, we need people like you in our community. So we're so grateful for you. And maybe we can plan a second episode after these and get some, content for it and really promote it. So those who don't know how to get involved. Also, if one wanted to actually do an event themselves, it's not just golf courses. Like you can plan any event, correct?
I'll do any events. So we actually just did a oyster roast at the Ghost Pirates game. So we raised about $3,000, a little over $3,000. So yeah, we can do anything. I've got a great working relationship with the arena and with the Gross Pirates. We've got great working relationships kind of anywhere. This fall, I'm working on a casino night. So
fun.
Yeah, and I got a couple of galas coming up. So yeah, we're working on.
So if anyone wants
stuff.
to get involved and doesn't know where to start, and
Just
they
call
have
me.
something that's dear to their heart,
Yeah.
B10's really active in the skin cancer research world because my sister had, I'm going to get something checked on my face today. So, anytime anyone wants to get involved in something that means something to them, instead of sitting back, you could, it's so great to have people like Catherine where you're like, where do I start?
Yeah.
This is something I believe in. And, to help you navigate these things so that we can, all give back and figure out a way how to do that, whether we're business owners, stay-at-home moms, whatever the case may be. It does feel good.
It really does.
It does
really
feel good.
does.
And it does make a difference.
Yeah.
If no one did it, if everyone sat around, then,
nothing gets done.
Nothing would get done. And, what a terrible world that would be to live in. So,
Definitely.
I appreciate all you do. I want to get you back on. I want to do like a follow-up.
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully we can get you more work out there because you're doing good work.
I love it.
It's really good work. Well, I so appreciate you traveling all the way out here to do this interview. We'll keep in touch and we'll promote you heavily on all of our pages. And I'm so thankful for, again, I'm thankful for what you do.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. It's
Of
been
course.
great.
And you have
Nice
the sweetest, kindest little voice. You guys. It's like the sweetest interview I've ever done.
I have to have this nice voice so my husband can't say no to me.
Oh, I love that. I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Of course.
And where is there one last thing? Is there social media just so people can find you?
So Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Creek Two Coast Events. We have to drop all the other stuff out because the business names are very long. But just Creek Two Coast Events.
Love that.
On Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I'm Catherine Sanders. They can look me up too if they can find me.
Yeah,
they
we'll
can
put all
add
this
me.
in there. Yeah.
And then all my contact information is on all those pages. So if you have an organization that you need some help with, or you're just looking for an organization to get involved with.
My dog is being so bad.
She says, I have things to say.
I knew she was going to do this.
Where you go?
I should have taken her for a run. Well, we will get all of your social media things in the show notes. I so appreciate you letting me and Princess interview you.
Yes.
It just makes me feel good to give people a voice, and whether 50 or 500 people listen to it, at least it's a way to connect others.
Yeah, it's
and
great.
and especially for what you do to get it out there. So
And shout out to Jennifer for
Oh,
making
I
that
know.
connection.
I
She's
love her.
I love her. So we met in the strangest way, and you're gonna love this.
you and Jennifer?
Yes. So Jennifer actually lives down the street from my parents, but I did not know that.
Is related to my son through his dad.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
her. She's the sweetest. So she lives down the street from my parents, which I did not know at the time that I met her. But my husband and I were going, I don't know, to the store or Arby's somewhere one night, and we pulled up on this accident, and it was her daughter. On 280 when her daughter got in that accident. And I got out of my car and I just hear this sweet voice going, I want my mama. I want my mama. And my mama heart broke. I was in tears. I just took off running to her because she's surrounded by all these old men. And I'm like, just move away from her. She needs a mama.
She needs a mama.
She needs a mama right now until her mama gets here. And they're like, her mom's on the way. We already called her. I was like, okay. So I sat with her and talked to the 911 operator and got her calmed down and everything. And then
until Jennifer could get there.
Yeah.
So small world. So that's the way we were linked up, is through I had my son at 17. So me and his dad did not survive teenage pregnancy as a couple, which is fine. And so Jennifer is his cousin. Okay. And so when she was younger, she was like in high school still whenever I was pregnant with Gavin and all that stuff. So small world. And I love the connections. I love how an old friend can connect me to a new friend. And I wish the world did more of that.
Yeah.
I love meeting new faces. And it is a big web, and it's really important for what you do to keep that web going and pass it on. So I hope, are we still recording? Because I really like everything you're saying. Well, cool. I'm so glad that you came on, and we'll have you on again.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it.
Had a fun time here.
Yeah, it's quick and easy.
It is.